Tonight, within one of the protests them with the ladies them, as we all know, we there with the female sex workers. So they never can tell we how life there and all other challenges them within the face now this place here so.
Oh, they are with the strain. Right now, if it rain they come, water they come inside room there. We not get it on place. We dey suffer. Then as so many they between our streets. What would the person because of we fail we live in?
Our government help me. May they take care of we. We dey beg. So I want let go that they help me with Papa government. For like me and me picking there, love survive. I want me picking the land. I want them educate. They don't come meet me for this life here. Why they pa?
Some people in Kikau they can't do the test, they can't condom there for we. Even me bagwa they work out all to get condom.
Because they teach you a lot about HIV. Where they go na streets, they will not do body to body. They will use condom. And RODA they can advise we waiting for do them.
Man, they know they give money. Then they treat, then they go and beat, then they give belly no more than left free. Then they take care of we. Look back, we how they sleep.
So what's make you come on the street? What's happen?
Because of poverty.
So now you they take care of the pikine or the pikine not say them papa or they not get papa. Just tell we.
They not get papa. And I mean they take care of the one going was on the street. I can't take care of the one no come on so they sleep.
Then he ask una for money or wait una can pay the police and for let them left una.
At time where they old we they beat we they pull money now we and they do we.
How things do we return like with corona now and the coffee order and all other things the way they happen now?
Well, I tell Papa God thank you for now because God don't begin make the move for the way we will get to Lily and nothing till they be for come out.
Now we they lock so the thing don't lock. Them man they now better know the.
My name is Mildred Banguga, HIV counselor RODA. Counseling sex workers, we have our peer navigators that go out there and come with their peers. And come with them at the DIC, we do the pre-test counseling. After doing the pre-test counseling, we ask them, are you ready for the test? If you are ready for the test, we have what we call consent form that the individual will sign to approve that I am willing to do the test. And after doing the test, we do the post-test counseling. As a counselor providing information for the individual, I also encourage the individual that this is the results. Before we do the test, I've already told you that you are expecting one result, either positive or negative. So it has come out to be positive. Now I want to take the individual to the hospital. Please, don't be discouraged. You are not alone in this. We are going there for your health. Going to the hospital, we have to run other tests like malaria, typhoid, syphilis, gonorrhea, to know whether you are fit for the HIV drugs. If there are any underlying conditions, they will treat them first before ever they treat the HIV. If the person turns out to be negative, I will also tell the individual that this does not mean you are negative for a lifetime. We want you to go and come back after 3 months. But going back, we don't want you to expose yourself, like involved in risky behavior, like having sex without using condoms or using the toilet just like that. Remember, we are exposed to so many risks. But if you prevent yourself from having either STIs or HIV, you prevent yourself for life. So we teach the individual how to use condom, because some of our sex workers do not even know how to use condom.
Especially the female condom.
In RODA, we have the peer educators that we call them the part-time staff. And we also have the peer navigators that we call them full staff. The peer educators are there. These are people that they talk with their colleagues. They also test within their peers, and they provide counseling and testing to their peers. So these are the staff that are really beneficiaries in the whole project, because we are working with the peer educators and they serve as peers to provide HIV information, counseling and testing.
Peer navigator, we are people where they go and then communities them. And we they go and talk to become peers, the same age group. Then the one the way then they take themselves say then I drop out to them. When they say all tea don't lost for them. So we they go, we talk to them, say, ends life day, hope day for them. So we they sensitize them, we they counseling them. For say let them do something and then your life. We they tell them about HIV, for tell them say HIV is real. Because Boku then they talk say HIV na fake.
Then people how they go distribute condom or they gain a net and they tell we say this no matter so we win a body to body now once. Then ki ara swing at it because they tell we say the condom no useful to them.
I am Kemo Mansare. I work for the National HIV/AIDS Secretariat as a monitoring and evaluation officer and also as the key population focal person. In other words, I'm the one responsible to coordinate key population activities at NAS. RODA is providing services for female sex workers. And to ensure that the female sex workers that are not negative stay negative. And if they are tested and found to be positive, it ensures that those that are found positive are linked to treatment and they are treated provided with ARVs. You know, the female sex work is increasing. It increases because of certain activities. Okay. And the female sex workers are providing sex work. And in the provision of sex work, there is a tendency that they don't use condom. And once they are not using condom, there is a tendency for the HIV to increase.
Well, as a program assistant, I support the implementation of program activities. For example, the face-to-face, we can get community engagement, we get human rights advocacies, we engage stakeholders, traditional leaders, so they make sure say I oversee all the implementation of their activities and they in line with the donor regulation in the organization. I joined RODA in the first instance since 2016 amidst with the simple application process grant when I'm from Global Fund through NAS. We will deal with vocational institutions where we provide alternative livelihood for sex workers. During that time, we enroll up to 500 speaking the way been done in our street, where their life been very vulnerable, they not get hope. So we come with them, we counsel them, we decide for ask them, make them choose a cause of their own choice where they go on for do. So we get for engage them into different vocational institutions with different skills of their own choice. Like for Lonsa, we be deal there with Maria Innis, St. Joseph's. We get students when a welder, electrician, caterer, hairdresser, and the rest of it. And then don't they do well?
Legal Aid Board, we provide legal representation for indigent people. We provide legal education, legal assistance, and legal advice. We get to other mandates when at the alternative dispute resolution. We mediate matters of civil property disputes, land disputes, marital disputes, child maintenance, and some matters where they involve with key population who we feel say stigma they inside. We can also come for ADR session and we mediate some of the matters there. So RODA now one of the partners where then they work on the FSW them. So we can partner with RODA for see that. Then the FSW them then gets the justice where they need.
Mena Bangura, the National Advocacy Officer for Natives, the network of people with HIV in Sierra Leone. My key responsibility for advocate for people with HIV, for live a dignity life, for get medication, for get right to life, right to food, and when facing stigma and discrimination, mean that the focal person where they will meet and direct them to natives for see how we able to seek legal people them for fight for them at the court of law.
Legal aid, we own service na free. We they represent them in free basis. Either they na police or they na courts. Even when they na the community, they face challenge na the community, then they call upon RODA, then they call upon legal aid, and legal aid is there for see that who protects their right.
Most of them are sex working because of economic reasons, because of social inequalities. So, and this is what RODA is really working towards to ensure that we bridge these inequalities. But we lack funding. We only work with small number of sex workers because we don't have the funds to support the large numbers of sex workers. And most of these workers come to us and say, no, we want to leave sex work, but we don't have an alternative. How can you help us? But we also are saying we don't have the funding. to provide the alternative livelihood the sex workers may face. So, I mean, it will be good if we want to really reduce the HIV, among the young population, that will provide services. We want to continue providing services for the sex workers. We have funding so that we can support the sex workers program within the country.